Was it Natsu screaming or like saying the
Yeah, it
Asaremia?
sounds like an angelic. That's Natsui's scream from now on. Okay, so I think this is Badler
Probably, yeah.
because he's
Was
waking up
Yeah, he's waking up at 7 a.m.
on the second
fucking
day.
on the second day.
Well, I guess he's waking up because he's hearing some alarm clock or something.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that's why he's waking up so early after having just gone to bed, I guess.
yeah. Was it someone's alarm clock? Beep, beep. An electronic. I don't know why I read that in his voice. An electronic tone.
Beep, beep.
An electronic tone repeatedly rang out through the room.
Oh, Badwell had gone to bed late and not managed to get enough sleep, covered his head in his blanket, and waited for someone to turn off the alarm. But no matter how much time passed, the electronic tone didn't stop.
I see. The point of an alarm clock isn't just to be loud enough to wake you, but to be annoying enough to keep you from wanting to fall back asleep.
Yeah, that's what I want from a good alarm clock.
Sorry?
I said, yeah, that's what I want from a good alarm clock.
Oh, just for it to be so annoying that you can't go back to sleep?
Oh, yeah.
Dude. Same. You're one of those ones that, like, fucking... like, try to hide after the alarm goes off. They, like, fucking hide somewhere.
What? I've never heard of that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the alarms like that exist. Like, they just fucking, like, go off and hide somewhere, like, fly or some shit.
Man, I'm gonna put a link to one of those in the description for anyone who's watching. You can go order them at the link in the description. They fly away.
They fly away when you try to... You gotta catch them!
Okay.
Alright. Hey, that alarm's going off. Make it stop, please. Why do waking up voices always get this annoyed? Well, it does make sense. After all, people are still sleepy and in a bad mood. However, there's absolutely no sign that my voice had caused anyone to turn over in their sleep, or crawl out of bed to stop the alarm. Letting out a deep sigh, I stumbled to my feet. With the shutters down on the windows, there was almost no light getting in, and the room was as dim as it had been earlier. Though even without the shutters, there's no way that this dull weather would let in enough sun to make this a pleasant morning. The cousins were still wrapped up in their beds, sound asleep and taking no notice whatsoever of that beeping. Normally, once any one person gets up, the others tend to automatically follow. Annoyed that this law of serial summer camp awakenings that I'd made up had been broken, I searched for the source of the sound. I could hear it coming from a wristwatch set on a table. Judging by the style of the watch, it was probably George's. Anyway, when I randomly pushed a small button on the side of it, the sound stopped. Apparently, it had been set for 7 in the morning. Is it already 7? Sorry, but I don't really feel like I slept at all. Playing cards were left on the table as though they had stopped mid-game. The game had probably been 7s.
So they could wake up at 7. They played 7s.
They played at 7, whoa! Weird. Damn it, I've got this piercing headache. What the hell happened last night? That mountain of gold and the subsequent argument between the relatives all feel like a bad dream. So stupid. Breakfast normally came at 8. Now wasn't a bad time to start getting up and getting dressed. Even those adults probably won't argue in front of the cousins. In that case, I'll stay with my cousins all day long. I'm sure they'll be able to separate me from all this annoying talk about the gold and be the successor and all. In fact, I should have done this from the beginning. I felt disgusting, having slept with my clothes on last night, which caused me to get all sweaty. I guess I'll take a shower. I'm sure the others want to as well. At this age, it's embarrassing to wake them by shaking their shoulders. If I turn the TV on, everyone will probably wake up. Well, let's at least turn on the lights for now. In this dim light, with the quiet sound of the never-ending wind and rain, It really doesn't feel like morning has come yet. I flipped the light switch, and then that dimly lit morning ended. What the fuck? Ah! What was that?
That was you screaming.
No!
Oh!
George! George!
This is just too horrible. How could anyone get away with something like this?
As they clung to Aniki's corpse, which would never wake up again. This is still battling,
Yes.
because it's Ant.
As they clung to Aniki's corpse, which would never wake up again, and even Uncle Hideyoshi cried.
That's enough. Do you think George would like the two of you to see him this way? Of course not.
Aniki, I know how you feel, but let's have Dr. Nanjo handle this. You don't understand. George was killed. George.
Dr. Nanjo's right. We mustn't keep staring at George in such a state. This is for George's sake. We have to restrain ourselves for now.
When Aunt Eva tried even harder to cling to that corpse, Dad and Uncle Hideyoshi dragged her away and had a heated debate with her beside the wall. No, George. Dr. Nanjo, help him. If he's lost too much blood, do a blood transfusion. George and I are the same blood type, I beg you. Dr. Nanjo.
How are they going to do a blood transfusion?
In the fucking, in the start of the morning, like, there's no hospital equipment, it's just a doctor. He's doing his best, Nanjo's doing his best, dude.
Ava, it pains me to say this, but your blood can't do George any good now.
Damn it.
Of course.
Yeah. Dr. Nanjo shook his head slightly, then nodded across to where I stood, giving me a signal. I softly pulled the blankets up, covering George's corpse. Damn, but the killings were supposed to stop. No! His neck was split wide open. It was probably larger and deeper than his mouth. Would covering that part up make the corpse look neat and clean? Of course not. The large amount of lost blood stained the bed a horrible red and black, and even covering him with a blanket couldn't hide the traces. After all, even the blankets had large red-black stains, and covering him with it made his corpse look even more gruesome. So I stripped the blanket off of my bed and placed it on top of the first one. But there were only 2 extra blankets, so if we covered one more of the corpses, we wouldn't be able to cover any more. I feel bad about the ones we can't cover, but for some reason times like this, these make me feel like muttering, "Don't complain about it being unfair," inside my head. Kiri, put blankets over all of them. Wouldn't want them to catch cold.
Sure.
Kiri and I started covering the other corpses up to their heads with blankets, just like George's, so that they wouldn't have to undergo any more shame with their terrible wounds exposed like this. Who else died, dude? In one bed rested Jessica. Jessica was exactly the same as George, though she appeared to be resting quietly in the bed. Her neck had been sliced deep and the wound lay open in a brutal way. Maria was the same, and not only Maria, there was one more victim, lying in the same bed as though they'd been sleeping alongside each other. Was Aunt Rosa. George, Jessica, Maria, and Aunt Rosa.
Yeah, we just got the tips for them, but we already read them.
Right, fuck, I completely forgot at the beginning, yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus. Why are the killings going on even though the epitaph is solved, dude? Or are they even following the epitaph? Who knows? We've only seen these people, so well actually I don't fucking know. Alright. In this room were 4 humans who had been killed, their necks sliced open. They'd probably been like that since last night. I had returned without noticing anything, gotten in bed and falling asleep.
So he just fell asleep beside all these dead bodies.
I guess, that's fucking weird. That'd be fucking really surreal to wake up
Unless
and
he killed them.
be like, unless he killed them, but that goes against the rule or whatever. There's a rule that says
that he...
the
He's the
protagonist can't be.
detective. Yeah.
Yeah. All of them had a horizontal cut across their throats. I had been forced to see all the way into the depths of those gashes in everyone's throats. At worst, the wounds might have been deep enough to stretch halfway through their necks. If you tried to open it up, you'd probably be able to see that the gash reached all the way to the bone. The only wounds were the single gashes on each neck, so if you just covered their necks with your hand, you might be able to persuade yourself that they were merely sleeping. But even so, this frighteningly deep wound was incredibly gruesome. There's no such thing as clean or dirty ways of killing. All methods of killing are equally brutal, but even so, the brutality here was just horrible. And there was one more thing that adorned these brutal murders, making them even more unsettling. Drawn very large on the wall was something like an eerie magic circle. It was drawn in a bright red paint that looked like blood, and made it look as though some creepy ceremony had taken place in this room, with the 4 of them being offered as human sacrifices. However, that wasn't what we were concerned about. No one has a heart so cold that they could witness the deaths of those close to them, and still worry about some scribbles on the wall. Oh, a knock at the door. It's Frida
Malcolm!
Erica! Malcolm!
Malcolm
That's
always
right.
does the knock.
Yes, that's right. Okay, good job. Thank you, Malcolm. Good job. Yo, good morning, everyone. Oh, what a wonderful magic circle.
What a wonderful magic circle!
Wow, fucking magic circle, dude. That's fucking awesome. Man. Battler, who died and made you king? I don't fucking know. The girl who bragged that she drew more pleasure from the process of exposing the truth than the truth itself, and who went so far as to call herself an intellectual rapist, appeared in the hall. When she saw the extraordinary, creepy magic circle in this gruesome room, I heard what was unmistakably a sigh of admiration escape her lips. You don't come in here. I just heard about it in the corridor. It's for people who've passed away, correct? Allow me to express my sincere regrets, and also intellectually rape everything. On Erica's face, no, that's not it. It was in her eyes. In Erica's eyes I could see an indiscreet smile that was hard to describe. She found this interesting. She found the outbreak of a crime interesting. It was like the smile of a kid off to the side of the stage just before her turn to appear in a school play. Sorry, Erica, we're busy at the moment. Could you wait in your room? Well, we can't have that. It's the detective's right to investigate the scene. We're saying that we have no business with you. Now the time for outsiders like you to stand back. In my personal opinion, only third-rate mysteries have a suspect who tries to interfere with the investigation, and it turns out to be the culprit. Who gives a damn about what you want? Get out. You aren't wanted here.
Erica, I'm really sorry, but could you go back to your room? We're busy right now.
George, George, oh. Stand back. I can't investigate this scene like this. Jesus Christ. Why is she so insistent? If it's necessary.
Well, it's better than Battler. Battler he never investigated the scene. At least she's actually doing it.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, because that's what the game's all about. Yeah. Alright. If it's necessary, we'll do it ourselves. The police will do it. Like hell, you have the right to bring more shame to everyone's remains than they've already endured. She's sweating. No, she's not sweating. What? Detective's authority. The detective has the right to inspect all crime scenes. Stand back, Ushimi and Battler. This is an official privilege of this game which the human side has accepted. bitch. These words, which seemed to be utterly ridiculous at first, were words of power that had come from a world on a much higher plane than the one they were in.
Badwell was thrown back by an unseen power and landed on his butt. Struck silent by this quiet intensity, nobody was able to prevent Erica from entering the womb, suffocated by this bizarre atmosphere.
Don't worry, my goal is not to profane the dignity of the deceased. It's not like I want to peek into something as disgusting as a slit through someone's neck. I want to know something completely different. In other words, who committed these murders? I asked Dr. Nancho and everyone else too. In particular, she's gonna start to sound like a fucking proctor or whatever. Fucking like landowner or whatever. In particular, the first one to discover them, Battler. There are many things I want to question you about, so I request your cooperation. Like I said, by what authority are you doing this?
Because I am the detective. Battler couldn't argue against this incomprehensible nonsense. No, he wasn't permitted to argue. It was a restriction placed on pieces. Erica summoned Dr. Nanjo and heard the details of his preliminary examination of the corpses. Normally, he wouldn't have spoken of that to an outsider so casually. However, for some reason, the atmosphere about the place had become one in which hiding things from Erica was forbidden.
Weird.
Okay, let's enjoy this first twilight of lambdas. 4 corpses. That's 2 corpses short. Well, she doesn't necessarily need to have 6 people killed, but that's how we've been playing. That girl isn't completely clueless, so she must have killed 2 more people somewhere. On the wall was a magic circle representing the first twilight, similar to the ones in Beato's games. That girl talks tough, but I wonder just how closely she'll be able to imitate Beato. That Hebrew sure is crappy. Oh yeah, look at the magic circle. They even made it
Hebrew?
Well, yeah, but they made it. It actually looks like it was written way shittier than in Beatrice's games.
Oh yeah. It's like not very. It's all like runny and all that.
Yeah. It isn't written exactly right. God damn, I haven't done this in a little while.
Jesus, yeah, it's been a long time.
What the heck? What's going on? Why is there a magic circle? I'll bet they wanted to copy Beatrice. Aha, what a crappy magic circle. This isn't just a copycat. Some human went out of their way to draw that so they could make it look like Beatrice did this. Anyway, let's report to Beatrice about this. Even though we're already up to our eyeballs just protecting Goldsmith's secret, what a pain. But these murders have no beauty to them at all. It isn't really a closed room and there's nothing impossible about it. Such pitiful murders aren't worthy of Beatrice at all. Ferrudo Erica, an unexpected crime and an unexpected woman, and the unexpected man from 19 years ago? And if you add in the fact that battlers already solved the epitaph, this game is completely different from normal. What the heck's going on?
Yeah, I agree with him.
Let's go! Yes, One-sama?
What the fuck is going on, dude?
You're getting answers.
I don't see the answers.
Well, these are the answer arcs. You're getting answers.
Alright. Weird.
In the kitchen, Godo was preparing a wonderful breakfast at a brisk pace. See how they might give you the answer of what he's preparing for breakfast.
Oh man, that's an answer. That's
the main dish would be herb omelets. Even simple foods could become an invigorating feast under Goda's skillful hands. He would pre-cook everything beforehand and prepare the food in the dining hall right before everyone's eyes. Pen. Goda hummed as he continued his work in high spirits. When Shannon, who was helping out, saw Goda like this, her mood also brightened. She arranged the salad in a neat little pattern and showed it to Goda. How is this? I think it makes the tomato look a bit cute.
Very nice! You really know what you're doing, Shannon. You get a gold star today!
Good job, Shannon.
The two happy people give each other a high five.
What the
Yay!
fuck?
Everything's happy.
What the fuck?
Everything's all good.
Hmm.
Shannon didn't like Godo when he was sneaky, but she had no problems at all with him when he was cooking happily. She sometimes even thought it'd be nice if his contract hadn't included any jobs besides cooking. If that had been the case, he wouldn't have had to get in a bad mood doing unnecessary jobs.
The dining hall is ready. You can carry it in whenever you want.
Wait, so where are the other two people who died?
Yeah.
We're almost good to go, so please get the serving card ready. Without thinking, even Kumasawa caught Goda's high spirits. The kitchen had a very nice smell and atmosphere about it, truly refreshing for so early in the morning. Then Cannon came back, grumpy, even this early in the morning, just like he always was. Cannon and Genji were in charge of getting many things ready for the morning, such as opening the curtains. However, Cannon was alone today, so it had taken much longer than usual. I'm done. Where's Genji? He still isn't here. That's odd. I can't imagine he'd sleep in.
Oh, I guess even Genji sleeps in sometimes.
I don't think that was a weird transition of voices.
That was not her voice. That was
No.
Lambda's voice.
Yes. Mhm.
I guess even Genji.
How the fuck can I do her voice?
Huh.
I guess even Genji sleeps in sometimes.
You know what? It's fine. It's
Good
good.
enough.
Yeah.
That's rather careless of him, considering... Oh, is Genji dead?
Oh no, Genji!
That's
Hopefully
rather
not.
careless of him, considering that this is the middle of the family conference. Cannon, could you wake him for us? Yes.
I wonder what Genji's face looks like when he's half asleep. Let me go with you.
Even though Goda had asked her to get the serving car ready, Kumasawa plodded off after Cannon, slyly skipping work. As Cannon muttered about how Goda was the one who swept in all the time, he headed for the servant waiting room.
So, you didn't wake him up this morning, Cannon?
Last night, I fell asleep while still in the servant room, so I didn't return to the waiting room. Last night, Cannon had dozed off while in the middle of his late night shift, following a sweep in the servant room. Shannon had been kind enough to put a blanket on him, but that had just made it so warm that he fell into an even deeper sleep, so he hadn't returned to his bed in the servant waiting room the previous night. Because of that, he hadn't met Genji even once this morning. There was a knock on the door. Malcolm.
Malcolm!
Genji. It's Cannon. Good morning.
Oh my, I wonder if he's still sleeping.
Pardon me. When he tried to open the door, Cannon noticed something strange on the upper part of it. What's that? Packing tape? A small strip of packing tape was stuck along the frame of the door, almost as though it was sealing the door shut. Furthermore, there were notches made with scissors along the center of the packing tape, so that if you opened the door only a slight amount, it would be torn apart. Also, written swappily across the packing tape with a thin pen was what appeared to be someone's signature. It was written in a very intricate and decorative manner, so even if it was a signature, there was no way of telling whose it was.
It's probably some sort of prank.
I don't get it, but it's no use worrying about it now. Genji, pardon me. The packing tape tore apart and he opened the door. It wasn't as though anything happened when it split, so the two quickly forgot about that strange tape. What if Erica put it there? It's probably similar to the trick Ava used in the first episode where she put the receipt in the door, and then when they went to get the receipt, when they went to check if Kinzo was there, the receipt fell out, so
yeah.
she knew that
She
the
knew
door
that they
hadn't
went
been
to
opened.
check. Yeah.
So yeah, we know that whoever put the packing tape there, this is the first time the door's been opened since they put it there.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
The room was dimly lit. The lower bed of the two-level bunk bed still had a lump under the blanket. Apparently, Genji was still sleeping. Good morning, Genji.
This isn't like you. Ho ho ho, it's morning.
Genji?
sake, what is this? What is this? There was a large red black stain on the blanket. Even the servants' blankets were always kept clean. A stain like that definitely shouldn't have been there. Cannon hesitantly peeled back Genji's blanket, saw what was left of him, and was shocked into silence. What the heck? His neck's been cut open. It's thin. You wouldn't be able to leave a cut this deep without a fairly long blade. What's going on? Battler solved the riddle of the epitaph, right? Why are there murders happening? I don't know. In any event, this isn't good. We should report this to Beatrice and Natsui. Belfa, hurry and report to Lucy. Understood. After dashing out, Kumasawa called Goda and Shannon over. Then this new pair let out screams identical to the first two. They sounded exactly the same. No, don't stop making breakfast, Goda. Is now really the time to be saying that? There's no chance they'll have a quiet and peaceful breakfast on the second day. I have a bad feeling about this. Genji might not be the only one. Let's check the entire mansion. Something else might have happened. Yes, One-sama. So Genji and the four...
Genji and the four kids, and, well, the three kids and
Aunt Rosa.
Rosa, yeah, that one.
Natsui sprang awake at the sudden sound of the phone. Even Natsui was surprised that she'd woken up. She thought she'd spent the whole night unable to sleep out of fear that the mysterious man might come in at any moment, but she dozed off before she knew it. Of course, Natsui still didn't feel rested at all, although she groaned from the dull pain in her head which hadn't gone away once since last night. She managed to get out of bed. Morning, Natsui. Morning. And what a horrible morning it is. Don't worry, it's actually a great morning.
Whoa, weird. Never thought about it that way.
Don't worry, no one tried to enter this room. I see. Thanks for keeping watch all night, weird devil girl. Even so, that didn't mean she'd been able to sleep peacefully. The continued ringing of the phone made her headache throb even more strongly. I think you should probably answer the phone, and then I've got some bad news to report from my sisters. Let's leave the bad news for later. I'll answer the phone first. Natsui shook her head to wake herself and picked up the receiver. Then, she regretted not listening to Lucifer's bad news first, because she wanted the first thing she heard on this horrible morning to be something better than this.
Morning, mother. Did you sleep well?
That voice told her that this horrible morning, this nightmare, would not stop. I kept my promise. I've been holed up in this room the whole time. Of course, I haven't been on the phone either.
But you did pick up the phone just now, did you not?
Well,
Oh, damn it! Just kidding, this is just a morning call I'm giving my beloved mother. Morning, mother.
How far do you intend to mock me? Natsui gripped the receiver so hard it creaked.
I wanted you to leave your seat so that I could set up for the party. Thanks for that, everything is ready now. Of course, you are the main guest, mother.
What are you planning to do?
That is for you to look forward to. Do not worry, I will not keep you waiting. It has already begun. Alright, wait a sec. There is someone I want you to hear.
Huh? There was a sound of the receiver being jolted around. The phone was apparently being passed to someone else, but there was a clunking, clattering noise, as though it were taking a lot of effort to hand the receiver over. Who in the world could he be giving the phone to? No matter who this man gives the phone to, that can't be good news for me.
What? Untie me, coward.
Huh?
Oh shit.
Dear, is that you?
Untie it, untie it.
It was, without a doubt, the voice of her husband.
No!
However, he didn't respond to Natsui's voice. Perhaps he was bound somewhere in the darkness. Klaus, not realizing that Natsui was on the other end of the phone, repeatedly demanded that he be untied.
Your husband is here. His eyes and ears are covered so you won't be able to talk. But I think you can tell that he is in perfect health.
What are you after? Let my husband go!
I will let him go tomorrow if you keep 2 promises, that is.
What are they?
One is that you keep a secret that I have your husband in my care. There will probably be a fuss when they are unable to find Klaus anywhere in the mansion. But you know nothing, so you will say nothing. Understand?
I understand. What's your other condition?
Oh, that's a little game. At 1 today, you will go into the foremost guest room on the first floor of the mansion and hide in the closet.
A guest room? Why should I go into a closet?
Just in your hide and seek. If you can hide there for an hour without anyone finding you, you win. If somebody does find you, you lose.
And if I lose, what happens?
Nothing in particular. Is that not what playing is all about? If you play along with this hide and seek, I will release your husband tomorrow.
Will you really? Keep that promise, I wonder?
Of course. Make sure you do too, Mother. If you break our promise, I will know right away.
At that time, there was suddenly a loud knock on the door to Natsui's room. It was Malcolm.
Malcolm!
He was there. There's a lot of knocking on doors in this. I realize. Malcolm's got a hard job.
Yep. But hey,
The hot
it's
wept
part of
automatically. Thank you, Malcolm. Madam, are you there? Good morning. It's Goda and Cannon. Madam, please wake up. It's a good morning. Wrong. I meant bad. It's bad.
Jeez.
The voices coming from across the door were Cannon's and Goda's. The knock had been wild, and the voices a little shrill. It seemed that something strange had happened, and that they were agitated. What is it? Did something happen? Oh shit. Wait, who? It was one of them. Whoa, it said something happened. It's nothing. It looks like the servants have arrived. I'm hanging up.
Sure, I have said everything I wanted to, so do not break our promise.
I understand, and you don't break our promise either.
You have it wrong. This is for you to decide, Mother. Do not make me break my promise, Mother.
Ack!
Goddamn.
I will be watching you all day today, Mother.
Clank.
So who's actually calling Natsui?
Lambda Delta slammed the receiver down on the antique phone. Then the phone exploded into bits and became a golden splash, then a cloud of gold butterflies, and then disappeared. I think Lambda's calling from the phone that disappears and turns into golden butterflies and shit. That probably makes sense.
No.
Dance for me, Natsui. Dance in fear of your sin 19 years ago. My turn's going pretty well so far. Okay, your turn now, Burn.
Alright, let's see what's going on.
I'm sure this is a waste of time, but let me confirm whether correspondence with the outside world, including reporting this to the police, is possible or not.
It's impossible to make use of the external line. It looks like you can use the internal line. It's impossible to use a boat inside the Typhoon. I guess the closed circle is complete now. Congratulations, you're a full detective now, Burn!
When the police intervene, they sometimes steal some of the detective's authority. However, with the construction of the closed circle, the existence of police had been denied for all eternity. From now on, the authority of the detective piece will be totally guaranteed. Yeah, thanks a bunch. Then I guess it's time to get this game started. Erica, you're the main character. Now, begin.
Even Genji, 5 people have been killed.
Yes, and it was so horrible.
It was exactly the same as the 4 in the guest house. The neck was sliced open with a terribly sharp blade.
To think that even though I had the midnight shift, I didn't notice anyone suspicious.
Don't blame yourself. If you'd bumped into the culprit, you might be the one dead right now.
On top of that, the phones aren't even connecting. I doubt any boats will come in this weather. This is serious.
And that makes it very likely the culprit's still nearby.
Eek, then what? Does that mean we'll be trapped here with a murderer until the typhoon passes and the boat comes?
It'll be okay if we all stay together like this. Even the culprit won't be able to lay a finger on us.
Even Jessica, I can't believe it.
We won't let ourselves be killed. I'll avenge George. I won't let them get away. No matter who the culprit is or what their reason was, I won't let the one who killed George get away. I'll kill them. Okay, everyone, are you done crying yet? Silence, please. Has anyone seen Kraus yet?
We've been calling him for a while, but he hasn't answered.
Or could the receiver be off the hook?
No, we could hear it ringing. There's no way he didn't hear it.
What does it mean? You don't think Uncle Kraus, too?
Figures. I hate to say it at a time like this, but there were 4 in the guest house, plus Genji to make 5. I figured there would be one more.
Why? How could you know that? Are you the culprit? Did you kill George?
Stop it, Ava. Now is not the time.
Ava got agitated and grabbed at Kyrie. Nanjo stepped in between them and it grew into a bit of a scuffle. Watching this, Erica smiled condescendingly and shrugged. Is this... No, this is the second time that Ava's outlived George, right?
Fuck, I have no idea.
Because she lived through the whole of episode 3. She even survived it. She's the only one who survived at all before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now she outlived George
This is the first time
twice.
she's reacted like this.
Yeah.
Man.
Is it?
Well, oh, yeah.
Because she got pretty upset. Oh, I guess she's reacting with, like, violence now, kinda.
Oh, yeah, she's going crazy.
She went crazy before.
Watching this, Erica smiled condescendingly and shrugged.
Of course. It's natural that you'd guess there were 6 victims after seeing the crime scene in the guest house. There were only 4 corpses, so it'd make you wonder where the other 2 were. How could you know such a thing? You killed them? You killed George?
Quit it, Ava. Erica, Kyrie, how can you know that? Can't you think before you talk?
It's a simple connection to make. The scribble drawn at the scene of the crime in the guest house was a magic circle. I just tried to think of things connected to both magic and murders.
So it's the epitaph, huh? I see. It's the first Twilight.
What's going on?
Well, I don't have a clue either.
Is that how it is? That damn witch! So, is this really Beatrice's doing?
Why do y'all keep talking as if you know something? I don't have a clue. Someone explain.
I told you, Ava, calm down a bit.
That's how it is. Ever since I saw the magic circle at the crime scene, I imagined this might be a plotline murder following the epitaph's first Twilight, which would mean that there are 6 victims. Simply by the existence of the magic circle in that place, this level of reason is possible for Furuto Erica. What do you think? What do you think, everyone? So Uncle Kraus was also killed? We can't be sure of that. Kraus isn't the only person who hasn't come here, right? There's one more.
For just an instant, Natsui's brow furrowed. So, she hadn't been able to avoid the topic of the study after all. Oh.
Huh.
Yes, Kinzo.
Yes. You don't mean Dad? Hey, someone must have contacted the study, right?
Of course we called and even knocked on the door, but, there was no answer.
Father is immersing himself in his research. He sometimes leaves the receiver off the hook because he doesn't want to be called and even ignores any knocking.
But the phone was ringing.
Anyway, let's first check to see that my husband's safe. Let's go to his room.
That's how he stood up in a flurry and dashed out into the corridor. Rudolph and the others immediately chased after her, telling her to wait.
Come on, let's all go together. In both third-rate mysteries and third-rate horrors, people who act alone tend to die first. Yeah, this game is just the same. Beto really is third-rate. Hehehe. Hee hee ha ha.
Oh, but in third-rate disaster movies and third-rate action movies, people who act alone do survive, right? Weird, haha. I don't know
who's that talking?
Even though the epitaph has already been solved, who's behind this farce? It might be the work of this man from 19 years ago, who is thought to be Lady Lambda Delta's piece. Ah yes, that can't be true.
In the games up until now, Beato has already stated that Kinzo has vanished, meaning that no more than 17 people exist and no 18th person exists. Now that Erica has been added, it's been stated that no 19th person exists. There's no room for this man from 19 years ago to appear on this island.
So the man from 19 years ago is disguised as one of the existing humans, or else. Ha 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 ha! Even if a 19th person isn't permitted by the red, slipping in a 19th person is no trouble for me, no trouble for witches. Now it's getting interesting. Why don't we watch this a little longer? Still, those two witches have finally started to do whatever they please with my game board, haven't they? Didn't you know that's what happened when you invited them? Humph. As a witch, I have the same dislike for boredom as they do. Even the unexpected brings the kind of joy a witch expects. Very well, bring it on!
It's great that you're so eager, but things have taken a nasty turn. Get it?
Indeed. Perhaps this isn't the best time to wait and see what happens next. I know that. At this rate, Kinzo's existence will become an issue once again, and the barrier around the study won't last long.
That isn't all. Things are going to get even worse. See? Move 1, move 2, move 3, and then you're cornered, Natsui.
What?
Gop whispered something into Beato's ear.
No, tell me!
Beato's mouth slowly widened into a grin. Erica, bringing everyone together is actually convenient for us. All darkness outside the range of observers belongs to us demons. This may be the only time to make that move. Natsui is the king. She can't move far, but we cannot allow her to be taken. Let's take the initiative. If we slip up here, Natsui will be cornered. Gop, can I count on you?
Of course. I'll blow a hole through closed room tricks, alibis, and mysteries alike. Leave it to me. I'll handle it.
Oop, right down. She probably made a hole appear. Yep.
Gop
was swallowed up, along with the chair she sat in, into a pitch-black hole that opened on the floor and then disappeared. After that, a hole opened on the ceiling and spat just the chair back out, returning the place to the way it had been. This is becoming troublesome. I see. Against Lady Lambda Delta, even I am nothing more than a mere piece. So in the early game, I must worry more about expansion than losing or taking pieces. I'm just no match for that person. I won't let her do that. Natsui is the final master I will serve. Know that this is a piece you'll never be allowed to take so long as she has a contract with me, Beatrice.
Damn.
Grouse's room was empty. The bed was too, but massive bloodstains similar to the other crime scenes remained.
But there was no corpse.
Nope.
Then he isn't dead.
Maybe not.
What's going on? Where's Klaus? Judging by this blood-stained bed, I don't like to think about it, but we should probably assume that he was killed and had his neck cut open just like the people in the guest house.
Why would they take his body and not theirs?
Why? Yeah, why would they? I don't fucking know.
Probably, judging by the amount of blood lost, it's hard to imagine that he's okay.
But where did Kraus go? Large amounts of blood stained the top of the bed, but there was no similar marks on the floor of the room. Whether Kraus had been seriously wounded and wandered off somewhere, or killed and carried somewhere, they had no clue where this somewhere might be. Because there was only blood on the bed, there's no blood on the floor or anywhere
What?
else.
No blood on the floor?
Yeah.
Weird.
Natsui knew. Though Kraus had been sounding far from his best over the phone, at least he hadn't sounded like he was on the brink of death. In other words, these bloodstains had to be a setup. That might not even be blood, it's probably ketchup, taste it!
Probably ketchup.
However, just what was that man thinking? What's this supposed to be? What the
Paprika
heck?
mixed with water.
So, on the first Twilight there were 6 sacrifices?
Was Kraus in the habit of locking his door? We just came in without unlocking it. Yes, Kraus also has a habit of locking up. At this house, Madam has ordered that all non-public areas be locked.
How many keys can unlock Uncle Krause's room?
In addition to the one key Kraus held, there's the master keys.
Owning all the several keys is a pointless argument. Did you forget that Genji's already a victim? His master key is missing. That means all the locks in this mansion are meaningless. How boring. In other words, no closed room murders have existed or will exist in this mansion. Sheesh. This is getting to
Except
be
for
a
that
pretty-
piece of tape. That piece of tape will probably be the closed room, the piece of tape on Genji's door.
Yeah, that one piece of tape. But then that can just be like them going into Genji's room, getting the master key, killing him, and then just leaving. And like that's it.
Well, it depends when the tape was put there.
Well, how can you know when the tape was put there?
Well, whoever put it there would have to tell us.
I doubt that they would, because then that would be like, oh, yeah, he's probably the murderer.
Well, they signed it. Why would they sign it if they cared?
I guess, yeah. But also,
You just have to.
broken
You
now.
just have to look at the tape and see whose name was there.
Sure. Or maybe. I don't
Why would the
fucking-
culprit put the tape there? Maybe it's someone who's not the culprit.
I guess. That's a reasonable assumption. Wait,
No,
but who would
collab-
put it in the first place? Alright, whatever.
Maybe
Jeez.
Genji.
But
but
Genji would
Genji's
be
dead.
inside of his room.
Yeah. I guess so.
Yeah. He's fucking. He's teleports inside his room.
Erica laughed off this murder in disappointment as though it was something she was watching on TV. I think it's a battler.
I can't understand it. Why is her world so different from ours? It's almost like she's in a separate dimension from us.
Oh, was Jessica also like this in a bed?
Yes, that's right. Just like George, her neck was cut.
Jessica! Let me be with Jessica! I haven't even seen Jessica's face yet! Jessica! Jessica!
Wait up, Natsui. The culprit might still be hiding nearby. It would be dangerous to let her be alone.
Natsui flew out of the room and dashed towards the guest house this time. It was only natural. There it is again. Natsui still hadn't even seen Jessica's dying face. Everyone probably thought that. Of course, even Natsui was half thinking that. The other half was her desire to shift everyone else's attention away from the study. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Strange crimes had occurred, the gold had been discovered, and some relatives had even recommended Badler to be the successor. Even in these twisted circumstances, she had to protect Kinzo's secret. If my head is going to be racked by this suffering anyway, please just let my head explode right now. That way I won't have to suffer any longer.
So, everyone, for Natsui's sake, let's return to the guest house for the time being. Though it's not as though seeing their dead faces is gonna lead to any new developments. Do you even have a heart? A heart? What's that?
Just seeing her daughter's dead face wouldn't bring Jessica back to life, nor would it heal Natsui's anguish. On the contrary, she would probably wail, wasting a considerable amount of time before being able to think properly again. This probably sums up Erica's screwed up argument. Just seeing their dying faces won't lead to any new developments?
Like hell it won't. Beato's pieces have brought about a really interesting change.
Well, what in the... Natsui flew into the cousin room on the second floor of the guest house, and was struck dumb by the blood-stained beds in the eerie magic circle, which looked like it might have been drawn with the victim's blood.
Oh, I think you cut out for me.
Mike, hung up the phone, so just a second.
Leham.
So, how are you guys all enjoying the Umineko? I'm calling him back. Oh, it's because he's calling me.
Yeah.
Hello. There you
Hello. Yeah. I don't know what happened.
go. I don't know. This seems to happen every time when we have a long phone call. It's like
Yeah.
a little bit in, the phone just hangs up. Whatever. I was talking. You were probably talking. They can probably try and figure out what we were saying.
Probably.
Yeah. I was just talking to them about, how do you think about what's going on? Where's Jessica? Where is she? Jessica! In that bed. A bed? Where?
What? Huh? George? Where is he? Wait a sec. What the hell is going on here? We made sure to lock this. Oh shit!
They're all gone.
They're all gone. Yeah. What the fuck? Someone stole the bodies. We made sure to lock this room when we left, right? We can now be certain that the culprit has a master key. Once again, my reasoning was correct. Who cares about that? Where did they go? Where did everyone's corpses go?
Nice trick.
Hey, look, it's magic, right? That cop was with Beato hid the corpses somewhere with magic.
All of us moved together, so you're trying to say that everyone had alibis.
Your reasoning goes like this, right? The four of them weren't actually dead, they were just playing dead. Then when no one else was around, they hid somewhere, am I right?
You don't intend to proclaim any of their deaths in red now, do you?
Of course I won't. Unlike that dolt Beato, I don't give out red for free.
In that case, I'll be glad to use the blue truth. I can think of many ways to work around something of this level.
Hehe, sure, go ahead, blue truth time.
Here's the first one I can think of. The victims aren't actually dead. They pretended to be dead, then secretly hid themselves somewhere. After all, you haven't proclaimed anyone's deaths with the red truth.
Aha, even though you've been shown their gaping wounds, you're still trying that one principle as long as there's no red, right? But don't get your hopes up. I'm not giving you a freebie red truth. After all, I just have to deny it all at once at the end of the game at 2400 hours on October 5th. The witch's side is such a big advantage. It'll be all over now if that stupid battler was my opponent, but you weren't like that, right, Burn?
Of course. Anyone could have thought of that silly move. I have more. Second one. Kraus carried the corpses off and hid them. You've acted it out so that it looks like you kidnapped Kraus and locked him up somewhere, but he might actually be free. Kraus has no alibi. Kraus hid their corpses.
Yeah, that's right. It's not like I proclaimed that Kraus was being confined with the red truth. You know how they say you gotta confuse your friends before you can confuse your enemies. So he lied to Natsui, making it seem like he'd been captured. Any others?
Third one. The corpses were different people in the first place. They were substitute corpses that closely resembled the victims. George and the others were hiding from the beginning, and later cleared up those substitute corpses. These corpses were dead from the very beginning, so they don't count towards the number of people on the island.
That's messed up.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know.
why would they fucking do that? That's
So
kinda
even
weird.
though all those people gathered around and saw their dead faces, none of them realized they were substitute corpses?
Since you haven't used the red truth, there's a possibility that everyone misidentified all of the corpses. Though if you feel like repeating, no one would misidentify a person. I'll withdraw that claim immediately, okay?
No way, I'm not falling for that. The red truth's only useful if you use it with flash, right? I'll take a single truth out of a large pile of blue and smash it with the red. Then the rest of the blue truths will be swallowed up by darkness before you can find out whether they were right or wrong. That darkness is the world of witches. You won't be given any truth at all.
Which one is this?
I have no idea.
I'm just gonna say it's Burncastle,
Probably.
because I don't want to do the Lambda voice.
Yeah.
This girl acts like she's stupid, but she's not bad at all. She'll never rise to provocation. Looks like she understands the darkness of magic even better than the true Game Master, Beato. And apparently, Gop also understood that well. That move of hiding the corpses. It was pretty effective for both Lambda and Beato. It is Burncastle. In any event, I've thought up a full 3 theories about the disappearing corpses. 3 blue wedges for a single riddle. That doesn't mean she can just deny one of those 3. Unless she eliminates all 3 wedges, this riddle has been defeated. That's the ironclad rule of witch hunting. A single wedge isn't nearly enough. Only vampires die from a single stake. Compared to witches, vampires are weak. True witches won't die unless you stab them all over with stakes, right? It's the same with assassins, isn't it? It's only in Japanese manga that you see assassins kill their targets with a single perfect shot. Real assassins will empty out an entire magazine's worth of bullets. That's how you do things, right? Of course, it's the same for me. But it's this girl we're talking about, so she might slice it all in 2 with a single swipe of the red. By simply letting off a few quick lines confirming their deaths and Krause's innocence with the red, she can remove all 3 of my wedges. Well, that's okay. When the red truth does come out, I just need to follow along with it and stab her full of blue wedges again. This is how a game of witches plays out. Ah, it's so fun. Battler sluggish battles always pissed me off, so I'm loving this. Yeah, I understand, Lambda. This first Twilight is just the beginning of the beginning. It's just a skirmish, right? Wouldn't have it any other way. I'll make you lose pathetically and cry out in regret as you crawl and scratch at the floor. I've almost forgotten the pleasure of grabbing that cute hair of yours and wiping the floor with it as I roll around laughing. That's
Grabbing
crazy.
someone else's hair and rolling around on the floor with it?
Cleaning the floor with it while they roll around laughing.
Weird.
The servant waiting room in the mansion had once again gone silent. There lay Genji's corpse, which had been covered completely with a blanket. In the ceiling of this cramped room, a pitch-black hole appeared. Captivating legs sprouted out, and Gop floated
captivating
downwards.
legs.
Yeah, I thought that's an interesting description of the legs. Sorry, Genji. You probably want to enjoy your eternal sleep right there, but that's not going to be possible. Please disappear from this place so that you may serve Natsui, the final head of the Ushiromiya family, even after death. Gop stripped off the blanket as she said this to Genji, who was sleeping peacefully. Then she stared at the deep wound in his neck. That's a nice cut. It must have been made with a single slice. Has anyone who's capable of this manifested yet? Not good. I can't think of anyone decent who might be capable of this. It goes without saying, but witches are capable of summoning beings with a strength proportional to their own ability. The Great Lady Wham Delta called that being here as a trump card, 19th person. Even optimistically speaking, this is on par with Monove and me. pitch black hole opened on the bed and Genji disappeared as though the bed had swallowed him up. Just like the floor in the guest house, Genji's corpse was also hidden in some unknown place. It was a place that no one could find, located neither within this world nor the next. No longer would anyone be able to find their corpses. No longer would anyone be able to confirm their deaths. She carried Genji's corpse to this place of endless silence, where it would never be disturbed. When there's no corpse, a person goes missing. When a person's missing, people both suspect that they might be the culprit and suspect that they might be victims. Truly, like the inside of a cat box. The darkness inside of cat boxes that'll never be opened is where we demons and witches reside. You were a bit too slow, Miss Great Detective. Gop licked her whips and gulped.
Weird.
I wonder why Gop is going around hiding corpses. I don't know, but Gop is pretty cool. She's just so awesome. Don't be stupid. What happened to standing guard? The humans are returning from the guest house. Gop!
Yes, let's disperse. This should be enough to give Natsui a way out.
Gop jumped into a pitch black hole that had opened near her feet. Mammon said, "I'm going in too," and jumped in, followed by Asmo, who said, me too, and hopped in, giggling. As Satan hesitated over what to do, the hole closed. And you call yourself members of the Seven Sisters of Purgatory. How childish. So stupid. Satan went bright red and got angry all by herself, then turned into gold butterflies and disappeared. It seems Gop has succeeded in moving the 5 corpses. Well done. However, the next part is tricky. They will probably be somewhat surprised at the disappearance of Genji's corpse, but their interest will most likely swing back to Kinzo's study after that. There are 2 keys to the study. It's fortunate that Natsui is in possession of both. If she had left one with Genji, it would probably have fallen into Lady Lambda Delta's hands by now. It seems that Lady Lambda Delta has no intention of hiding Kinzo's death. Apparently, she plans to fight while ignoring the moat, towers, and ramparts that you have created. This has become a strange triangular confrontation. We are all each other's enemies, but we will sometimes join forces without notice. In a 3-way fight, just when you think it's 2 against 1, it suddenly becomes 1 against 2. That's what it's like, that Chinese battle royale. Don't you think it's like that Records of the 3 Kingdoms thing? Oh, the Longsong Pan? That's quite a sophisticated analogy to hear coming from you, Pukuku. There were 3 empires in Records of the 3 Kingdoms, weren't there? Wei, Wu, and Shu, right? That sounds just like us. So, which empire won out in the end? The power that gained control in the end was the Jin dynasty. The 3 empires you mentioned were all destroyed. Well, that's good.
Wow.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought one of the 3 empires won. Didn't the Wei have an overwhelming advantage? They had the position of emperor stolen from them, and their empire was subjugated and destroyed. The Sima clan, a noble family that Cao Cao invited in as advisors. What?
Sao Sao.
Cao Cao?
Yeah.
Okay, the Sima clan, a noble family that Cao Cao invited in as advisors, eventually gained central power in a central control in a power struggle and took over the country. So they were invited in as advisors, and they seized control. Oh. Kind of like Burn Castell and Lambda Delta.
What the fuck?
Very interesting.
Yes.
That Lady Lambda Delta. Pardon me, the humans have confirmed the disappearance of Genji's corpse in the servant waiting room. They have started moving towards Lord Goldsmith's study.
Riche, they're coming.
Humph, let them come. The humans and the witches of certainty and miracles. If this is a 3-way fight, then we've got humans, witches, and... well, what should we be called? If the thing we're protecting for the time being is Kinzo's phantom, so are we phantoms then?
Hot damn.
Yeah.
God. I feel so lost.
These are the answers.
I don't feel like I'm getting answers.
You're getting answers.
But I don't see them.
Erica's given all the answers.
Yeah, but it's like, I don't know. Maybe maybe through Erica's intelligence is just so much higher than mine that everything she says just goes way over my head. Maybe.
Okay, I'm saving my game.
Yep, me too.
Okay, so tomorrow we'll figure out some more stuff. We got a big one to record tomorrow.
Yep. We got a lot of Fruta Erica detective style going on.
Yeah, I bet you this next one's going to be a lot of that. A lot of the detective stuff. A lot of figuring out what happened. Because when we came in at the beginning, this is exactly what the character sheet looked like. No one else had died, I don't think. No, I think Kidiyoshi was dead or something, right?
I have no fucking clue.
I think Kidiyoshi was also dead.
I can't remember that far back.
Okay. Well, let's go to the title back.
Yep.
And then go to the exit the game. Where is it? Exit. Now the door is closing on the game.
Damn.
How do you feel?
How do I feel?
Yeah.
I feel confused. I feel not really. I don't think it's anger, but it's more like dissatisfaction with how the game's kind of like. I still like the game. I love the game, but it's kind of disappointing that all this stuff is being changed. But still, it's fun and interesting to see like what's actually going on, and that we're kind of getting like handouts from fucking people be like, so here you go, hand holding you, solve the epitaph now, let's try it, yay.
Yeah, well, if you look at it from the point of view of someone who's doing the game differently, then you might see different clues, and it might help you. That's what it says in the opening thing or whatever.
Someone who looks at the game differently?
Well, it's Lambda Delta's story. And the rest have been Beato's. So you're getting the story from someone who looks at it in a completely different way.
Right, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it might help. So it gives you good clues for the culprit.
So the certain parts that are like remain constant, those are the really important parts.
Yeah. That's a good way to think of it.
Yeah, okay. I guess that makes sense. Yeah.
Because, as she said, she's still following the rules of Beatrice's game.
Yeah,
she's
just
taking a lot of artistic.
A lot of artistic license.
She's taking a lot of artistic license with it. Okay, everybody, goodbye.
Okay, goodbye.